Good morning, MDRT. Good morning, world. Good morning, Asia. And good morning, USA. Hi, Rick. How are you?
Good morning, USA. Good evening, Lim. Good evening, Asia. I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
I am fantastic. It is so good to see you, Rick, after 2 months not doing this, right?
Yes, it's been
Fantastic.
a busy few months for all of us.
Yes, it's a busy few months for all of us. And why don't we say hi to some of our friends? Sufyan, hi, how are you doing? And we have Pana. Pana is our dear friend from MDRT. Hi, Pana, how are you doing? Right, so let's just spend some time saying hi to all these friends who came on and joined us today. Jila, thank you for coming in. It's good to see Jeremy, Joseph, and all these people who have come in, to actually watch the show. Brandon, hi, how are you doing? Great to see all of you. If you guys can do us a favor, right? Can you please just share this content out to as many people as possible? And we have Fatima all the way from Taiwan watching our show. Rick, you have fans from Taiwan. Say hi to Fatima, Rick.
Hi, Fatima. I think they're mostly your fans. I probably only have one fan, and that's my wife. But she can't join us today. So these are all your fans.
No. It is our fans. We have Esther Hu. Esther Hu joined us as well. Esther Hu is our long-term friend. Ricky. It's good to see everybody. If you guys could just share it out and tell your friends that the show is on, it will be great, right? So today, this will be the last show of the year. We're not going away. It's just that we're going to take some time off, right, Rick? And so that we could focus on our business, and we'll come back next year, fresh, January, continue with the TOT Talk Show. Rick, you want to tell them something about our time off, so that we can tell them how excited are you doing this show now today?
Very excited. I know based on feedback, and we were doing this monthly for a consistent 7 months. And the audience has been great. The content has been powerful. But we changed it up mainly because a lot of things are happening around the world, especially with the global pandemic, especially with the shutdown in Malaysia. So we want to be conscious of everyone's time, and we want everyone to focus on their business. So Lim and I made an executive decision where we will be doing this once every quarter, and then once everything is back to normal, we can make it more frequent as needed. But it will be our last show of the year. I do miss everyone since our last conversation in Dominican Republic, and I'm ready to share amazing content and have everyone end their year with their best year ever.
Okay, great, Rick. So for all the guys out there who's watching the show, if you could give us some thumbs up and give us some hearts, just show us that you like us, you love us, right? That would be great, So thanks for doing this, right? Now, I have a bit of a distraction. My youngest boy just walked into my studio. I forgot to lock my room. But I'm going to just tell him, Kristen, don't make noise, huh? Or maybe later on I'll feature him on the show, okay?
I'm at my home studio, not you forget to lock the bathroom, but that's okay.
So I'm at my home studio. Rick is at home, and every one of us is doing this wholeheartedly. So let's give our best shot and share our best value to all our audience today. Okay, Rick? So if you guys could do just one more thing for me, share this out so that more people will actually see this. That will be great. All right? So today our topic will be the top 3 practices for final push and have your best year ever. So financial planners and insurance advisors, always ask us, right, Rick, what is our strategies in making to the top of the table year in, year out? For you, it will be year in, year out. For me, it's the first time. I've done 14 years of MDRT and COTs. So how do we do it every year? Do we have some solutions and methods to help us achieve our goal every year? So this episode at the TOT Talk Show, we will share with you all the insights and thought processes and methods to achieve MDRT, COT, and even top of the table TOT. Our experience in handling stress and pressure to push ourselves higher every year will help you achieve whatever that matters to you the most. So that is the introduction, right? And we have, can we get more people to share the show? You know, there's about 50 people watching it. You know, I would wish that we can break the 100 people mark or 200 people mark so that more people can actually learn something throughout. Now, today is the 1st October, which means the first day of the quarter. So if you are short or if you are still not achieving your MDRT or your COT or your TOT, you still have 3 months more, exactly 90 days counting down towards that. Right, Rick, do you have anything to tell them before we start with the first questions?
Yeah, I know there's a lot of misconception that depending on the year, whether it's the first quarter, second, third, or fourth quarter, is generally stronger or weaker throughout the year. Personally, I don't believe in that. I think people need financial security, financial independence, whether it's January, July, or November. But I would like to share with everyone in the audience, if I look back at my past 14 years, generally the last quarter is actually our busiest quarter of the year. I say this because oftentimes people think the end of the year is the holidays, people are slowing down or ramping up. For us, there's so much opportunity and there's so many ways to help our clients that I'm excited to share with everyone today.
Right. So every day is actually important, right? Every quarter is important, right? So my first question to you, Rick, before I answer my own question. Now, my first question to you, what is the first method or thought process that you use to actually push your final 3 months?
Great. So I start by leveling up. What I mean by that is you must learn. I don't know how many of you that are watching the show today, throughout the year, we have to get better. So I recently took one of my exams for the certification. So many of you may have heard of the CLU, CHFC, RICP, CFP. There's so many exams out there in our world and our profession that we must take and learn to get better. I think today I probably read more books, take more exams, pass more certifications than I had to when I was in college, which is kind of insane. But number one, you must learn. Now, as you're learning throughout the year, a few weeks ago, I just passed another exam. So with the knowledge and information that I've learned, as I approach the end of the year, the last quarter, I brainstorm and I think what this information can do for my clients and how to educate and help and teach. So number one is we must level up, learn. Number two is brainstorm clients that you can educate before the end of the year that is applicable as you're learning more items, more knowledge. And as we approach the end of the year, at least in our world, in America, there is a lot of deadlines. What I mean by that is, for example, a lot of companies, a lot of employers have what is called enrollment period. So in America, generally October, November time, there's enrollment deadlines for whether it's benefits at their company, healthcare benefits, whether it's retirement plan benefits, such as in America, there's something called 401k, whether it's other accounts such as IRA. So we reach out to our clients, as many clients and top clients as we can, and say, hey, would you like any assistance in understanding your current benefits in your enrollment period? A lot of our clients may have changes in their lives, such as they may have switched employer. This past few weeks, we had a few clients that switched jobs, reached out to us and said, Rick, as I approach this new company, I'm not understanding my new company's benefits. Can you schedule a meeting so that I can understand and plan for 2022 as they pick their benefits? So we're reading it, researching it, analyzing it, teaching them. They find it to be super valuable. And then in America, for example, like the 401k plan, which is a retirement plan through their employer, they have deadlines. If they don't contribute before December 31st, 2021, those contributions will not count for this calendar year. So we educate them on how to make certain types of contributions that are pre-tax to lower their tax liability. The last time I checked, I don't have any clients that have gotten upset at me for helping them understand their taxes and pay less taxes than they need to. Also, we teach our clients sometimes, which kind of sounds crazy, if we have clients in America, there are 7 tax brackets in the federal tax bracket. Let's say there's one tax bracket that you're in the 24%. Now the tax bracket after that is the 32%. So that's 8% more, 8% more. Now, if we have a client that is in 24%, but for them to go to 32%, there is $20,000 of income potential before they get there. Believe it or not, we call that tax credit or income credit that they can utilize this year and still stay in the 24% tax bracket. So we teach them strategies. In America, there's a product called a Roth IRA, and we may teach them something called a Roth conversion so that they can take some of their pre-tax dollars, convert it to post-tax, but still stay in their tax bracket, because if next year they get a promotion and they make more money, $20,000 more, they will never see the 24% tax bracket again. They're going to now be in 32% tax bracket. So I know these are very technical terms, but we help our clients understand their retirement plan benefits at work, their retirement plan benefits outside of work. And then most importantly, what we do is make sure some clients, it's a strategy we use to help them minimize and reduce their tax liabilities before year end. Some clients, and I sound crazy, we may not want to minimize their tax liabilities, and we may want to have more income. Why would anyone want to have more income, you may think? Well, it's simple. If I speak to these clients and they say, Rick, in 2022, one of my major goals is to buy a home before Federal Reserve raised the future interest rates, then I would say, well, if you are going to buy a home and leverage lending power, they're going to look at your previous year's income. So isn't it true, if you're looking to buy a home in 2022, your 2021 income is very important. So sometimes it may not make sense to pay less taxes the previous year of buying a home, but it may make more sense to show all your income so you get more lending and leverage ability to borrow more money and buy it next year. So there's so much year-end tax planning, there's so much year-end knowledge, education, teaching that we can offer all our clients. So that's my first advice. Lynn, what about you? What is your first strategy to help your clients?
Yeah, thanks, Rick. It is great, Rick, that you actually went in so technical about that. I just want to add a little bit of what you say just now on the Malaysian context. So there's a lot of Malaysian or Asian, audience out there. I just want to tell you guys, the year end, one of the things that you should do is to actually encourage your clients, if they did not maximize their tax bracket. So take example like life insurance is 6,000 tax bracket, and plus another medical insurance is another 3,000. So you should get your clients to maximize their tax bracket, okay? So if they buy very little life insurance, they might as well just maximize them. Now for people, for advisors that your company actually provide private retirement scheme, PRIs, you should tell your clients to put some money in PRIs to maximize their tax bracket as well and actually make it worthwhile. If not, we've calculated, if you're at a 20% tax bracket, if you buy a 3,000 or 5,000 or 6,000 ringgit PRS, private retirement scheme, put it away for savings, the clients will save close to 800 ringgit in tax. So that will help them in saving more money away and actually reducing their tax bracket. So one of the way I think I would just like to add on to Rick's what he's saying is that for tax purposes, you should look at that, help them clear off these tax incentives and tax things that need to do before year end happens, okay? So back to my question is that how do I actually prepare for my final quarter? So today I just went through a agency-wide planning, a quarterly planning for our people. Now I have a simple thought process in making sure that my work, for the last quarter, it is executed properly. You could plan whatever you want, but if you do not have a plan to execute the work that you have planned out, you won't reach MDRT. So what I do is that I plan my quarter in advance. You don't daydream into the quarter halfway through and then notice that, hey, I've not done this, I've not done that. Then you try to, overcome it. No, I don't do that. So what do you mean by plan your quarter? My first thing is, by plan my quarter, I will I will give up a day, normally a whole day, from 9 to 5 o'clock, or if it's longer, to plan out my quarter. So what I do is that I will start putting out a goal, that I want to do. So take examples like some of you want to do MDRT or COT or TOT, and you look back in your 3 quarters production, how much are you short? If you're over MDRT, or how much are you short for COT? From there, you have a number, then you break this number down to what I call monthly targets. From the monthly targets, you break it down to what I call the weekly target, and then you break it down to daily. Once you break the numbers down to daily, you times 3. Times 3 means, take example, if every day you need to close, you need to make a sale of say 1,000 ringgit. You need to times 3, you need to do a presentations of 3,000 ringgit every day for the next 90 days. Why is that? Because at a closing ratio of 30% or 40%, some of you are even better at 50%, I am sure that you will achieve your goal earlier than the last day of the year. Okay? So, number 1, state your goal, break down to daily actionable plans that you can do. So, every day you tell yourself you must finish this. The second thing I do is that I'll list down all my low-hanging fruits. So what are the low-hanging fruits? These are clients that you have seen throughout that 3 quarter of a year. Cases that you have opened, products that you have detailed, and clients that you have seen, and they are still sitting on the fence. Buy, don't buy, don't buy, let's do it, don't do it. These are what we call the low-hanging fruits. List it all down, no matter what, how far it is before. Once you list it down, make it a plan to see every one of them in person and tell them, this is the end of the year, you might as well as to do this, have a tax break from this policy, and so that you enjoy better tax or get covered as soon as possible. Mr. Prospect, you've been thinking about this for a month. You've been thinking of it for 3 months. Why don't we take the steps right now and do the necessary for you? So the low-hanging fruit, those we have actually prepared and actually proposed, go and revisit this client. The other thing that I'll do is that I'll put down a name list of what prospect. A name list of prospect means people I know that I could actually go, approach, and open a case with. So I'll list the names down, and I will start making appointments with these people from the first week onwards and actually plan it out to see them personally so that I could open a case and actually present it to them. So that is my plan. The first question is to plan your quarter, is to put down your daily goals, your quarterly goals, how much you're short, make them into your daily activities. Then list down all those low-hanging fruits that we have presented before. The last one, the name of prospect you want to see throughout the quarter, and make sure you see them for the first month, within the first month of the quarter. So that's my first thing that I'll do. Spend a day, sit down, and really plan your quarter well. Okay? So Rick, what is your second methods? Okay, before I go to you, Rick, just hold on for a while. I'm just going to tell the audience. Now, guys, you guys can ask this question like before. We're going to do this for 1 hour. We're going to share in between us for 1 hour. And after that, you guys could ask any question you want to, and we will try to answer all the questions before we go. So, if you could help us, please share this out. And then, if you could, send us some question, and we will take... This is a live show, right, Rick? So sometimes I get clicked in this. And we will answer your question. And I promise you, Rick, right, we're going to spend the night and answer all your questions. Okay, please send us some question. All right? So,
it's
Rick,
nighttime in your country, so I would not be surprised if you get choked up sometimes a little bit. I would too. But like Lim said, this is the last time for everyone that's watching the show to ask us questions. So from now to the end of the year, whatever questions you have in your mind, on your chest, you should ask. I always say this, as Asians, whether it's Asian American, Asians around the world, we're taught to be more quiet, more passive. No, you got to speak up. That's how I met my wife. You guys heard my story before. I was raised to be more quiet, more timid. If you watch any of my videos, any of my previous interview, I usually have so much ideas, so much questions, but I was always afraid to be the first to raise my hand. Today, I'm not. I'm the first to speak up. So I would challenge everyone from now to the end of the year, whatever you want to learn, whatever you want to commit to, ask now. Because TOT, deadline is deadline, okay? You wait too long to ask and you have any regrets, that's probably going to be your 2021 regret. So now the second answer to this question, okay, is after you level up and educate your clients as you prepare for end of the year, what I would share with everyone is appreciate, be grateful. Appreciate and be grateful of what you have accomplished. So far this year, we've already achieved TOT. I believe we achieved TOT by June of this year already. But throughout the year, and not just the last quarter, we've appreciated all our clients. We work with over 1,000 families throughout the year as we meet them for their review. Believe it or not, we try every single day attempt to call every single one of our 1,000 families and schedule an annual review. Now back then when I had 50 clients and I was by myself, it was a little easier. Today we have 1,000 families and we're a team of 8. So on average, every single day, we're reaching out to every one of our clients, checking in on them, doing their annual review. Because when you commit to helping a client day one, it's not today and tomorrow and that's it. It's, in my opinion, for life. So we schedule these annual reviews, check in on them, but we appreciate them. So throughout the year, we do a lot of client events. Pre-COVID, much more. Today, it's much harder. But for example, earlier this year in America, there's a holiday called Easter in April. So we actually hosted an Easter event for all our clients in our neighborhood that have young children, and I hired an Easter bunny. We budgeted pizza, toys, gifts, hired an Easter bunny, marketed, and we had, I believe it was 10 to 15 families show up. It was over 30 people, and everyone just got to hang out, get to know each other, and celebrate and spend more time. So what we try to do before the end of the year is appreciate what we've achieved and appreciate our clients. So our team, pre-COVID, did it a lot more often. Last year it was impossible, but this year we're hiring a professional photographer to take professional pictures of our team, and we're going to send holiday cards to all our clients, a postcard wishing them well, thanking them. I know in Asia it's more common to do this probably during the Lunar New Year, but why can't we do it throughout the year? Why can't we do it during certain parts of the holidays? So we do that. And in the past, I've hosted events such as bowling alleys. I've hosted golf outings. I've hosted dinners. I've hosted happy hours. Not for myself or my team, but I've hosted it for my clients. And we all gather together where my clients can meet other friends of ours, meet other clients, or they bring their friends, and we all gather together and just have fun, right? So I would say focus on how to be grateful, appreciate what you achieved, appreciate the end of the year, and make sure if there is a special friend, a special client, a special person that you haven't reached out to this year, tell them how important they are in your life and appreciate them.
Thank you, Rick. You know, Rick, that is one good point, appreciation. You know, I just want to add a little bit on that. To tell you the truth, tomorrow is my team's photo shooting session. So I didn't tell you just now, but my guy is here to discuss with me, about the photo shooting tomorrow. So we're going to take a photo shooting session, and we're going to do a calendar, print out a individualized calendar and send out to all our clients to say thank you. And I think Rick, that is amazing, right? What you say is to appreciate our clients. That is something amazing. Just to add a bit more into your thoughts, I do give out individualized Christmas gift every year to some of my top clients. We normally prepare 100 packs, spend like 10,000 ringgit, and actually send it out to all these clients to just to say thank you. And I think for all of us Malaysian, you guys should do the same. You should just call each and every of your clients before the year end, which is you have 3 months to do this. Call every single client and just say thank you. Thank you for the support for the whole year. And just wait, see what the client says. Maybe the client will tell you, you know what, come to my house, let's have a drink. I need to buy a policy for my son. Right? Right. Just call every single one of them and say thank you, right, Rick? Would that work for you? Yes? You do that?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, our entire team does that, and oftentimes I message my clients out of blue just because throughout the year I think about them. So stay connected with them, not just through a professional relationship, but friendship, utilizing social media, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn. I don't know in your country what's most popular, but always stay connected so that you can see and experience their life events and be there for them.
Yeah. So my second methods actually working through the quarter is that I prospect through my existing clientele. So I have about 800 clienteles with me. Those are individual clients that have bought policies from me, some of their parents and families and all that. So what I do is that normally I will prospect through the existing clientele. Now, just remember this, there is always a cycle of buying back a policy. Now, if your client has bought a policy for 3 years, 4 years now, and have not bought anything, maybe something has changed in their life. You want to go back and revisit them. I think you could have called them or keep in touch with them, but this time, at the end of the year, go back and revisit them and say, hi, how are you doing? Check on them. What has happened with them? Because chances are these people will have had another baby, or these people will have moved to a new home, or these people will have got married, you know. So by checking back to your clients, right, saying hi, how are you doing, having coffee and tea with them, you get to know their recent development in life. Some guys become a boss, some people become a businessman, some had a promotion. So what you do with this is that you will have a chance to actually upgrade their policy or do something else with them, with their retirements and all that. So go back, recycle and revisit all your existing clienteles and do that. The other thing I do with my existing clientele is that I organize events. So take example, like this Saturday, I'll be seeing an existing client and put up a dinner for the family, for their family, is to say, hi, thank you, thank you for your support for the year. I would love to bring you out for dinner. So with those kind of events, you ask the clients to invite one or two people, one or two friends or relatives or people around them to come for dinner. And in Malaysia now it's open, right? You can actually have dinner with friends. Use this opportunity. People is ready to come out. People is ready to meet you. People is ready to have social life again. So bring them to a nice restaurant, fully sanitized, SOP is all followed, and have a good time with them. And from there, hopefully you can open one or two cases with these people. The other thing that I learned from Man Mohan is what he calls a product high tea. What is a product high tea? So basically you have a product or you have a plan that you want to introduce to a friend. What you do this is that, take example, Rick, if this is my client, I'll just give Rick a call and say, Rick, I have this, how are you doing? And I have this product that I want to bring it to you, something that you should have a look at. This should be an existing client, not a new client you make. This kind of introduction will be very scary for a new guy. So an existing client, just tell them, you know what, I have something to show you, something might be of your interest. Let me just tell you over high tea. So invite him, tell him to bring a friend over for the high tea and you pay for it. By doing this, one appointment, you could have introduced a plan or a solution to a business problem or insurance, whatever, to 2 to 3 prospects. By doing that, is one stone kill 2 or 3 birds. So chances are these clients, if one buys, the other will also do it. But don't do a too big a group, like 5, 10, 20. You can't handle too many people. So what you want to do is to have 1 to 3 people, have what we call a product high tea, pay for the high tea, invite friends, invite his friends to come over and do an interesting product and let him see what can this product actually do good for him and his friends. So do it throughout the quarter. You will see amazing results. What I understand from Man Mohan, he actually introduced this method to his agent and also to a MDRT member in Indonesia. And the lady practiced this product and she did TOT. She do double MDRT in the last quarter and become COT that year. So you could actually do that, what we call a product high tea. Practice that. That might help you. Right? Rick, anything to add to that?
Great. That was a great strategy for your year, and especially with different types of opportunity because your country is very different from the US. So I think our strategies are somewhat different, which is great for the audience so they could think outside the box and diversify the ideas.
I can understand from Rick. Rick is doing a more whole person kind of quarterly. I'm the very salesman. I'm just go, and just get it done, right? So, Rick, would you like to share with us your third method on closing the quarter strong? What is that third method?
My third strategy or third method that I share with everyone else is not only do you appreciate your clients, but you appreciate the men and women by your side. So that's appreciating your team. I look forward every single day, although I'm working from home today, now that USA, we're working in a hybrid model where I go into the office. Every single day when I go into my office in Manhattan and I see my teammates, there's a sense of excitement and love. I really appreciate them. So the last quarter, when I have any spare time, I think of what are some fun things that we can do as a team, considering we're coming close to the end of the year. So throughout the year, we all work really hard, but it's about celebrating our wins. It's about playing hard. So what we have in mind, for example, you guys saw in our last show, I took our entire team in the summer to Dominican Republic. Now, as we approach the end of the year, we're going to do a professional photo shoot. But I spoke to our team recently and said, hey, for our holiday party, what would you like to do? I've shared with our team, hey, I'm going to host a house barbecue where we'll invite all our family and our kids, where we do a team gathering, right? So I don't know how many of the advisors that are watching have like an associate, have an assistant, have an operations team, but it's really at the end of the year, you really show that appreciation to your team. Without them, at least what I believe, without them, I would be nowhere near where I am today. There's a saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. Without my team, I wouldn't be anywhere near I am today. So things that we're planning at the end of the year before the weather gets too cold in New York, New Jersey area, I'm planning to host a barbecue where we're doing with all our team members and their family. I'm planning to do a potluck. So in America, there's a holiday called Thanksgiving. I share with our team, hey, Thanksgiving, you guys want to come to my home and we do a potluck? Everyone cook their favorite dishes and then we'll do a contest. Whoever's dish tastes the best, they'll win a special gift or prize. During near the end of the year, December time, the holiday season, we usually do a holiday party. I take our team to either a steakhouse, which is generally a more popular choice, an Italian restaurant, anywhere they want to go. And I was actually telling our team recently, I said, hey, you guys want to go to Top Golf? Top Golf is a company in the United States. I don't know if they have it in Asia, but it's going to be a golf outing with our team. Or I recently saw an event where we can go to a place and we can shoot, I think, 3D or 4D zombies. So we might do a zombie event, we might do a Top Golf event, but it's really appreciating your team. Because if you think about it, from now to the end of the year, as we finish Q4, we need to focus in 2022. So I think for all of us, sometimes we need to think about holistically how we can level up, get better. What about you, Lim? What's your last and final idea for the group?
I think Rick, appreciation. Wait, let me just change the camera. Right, you know what? I'm doing like 3,000 buttons here. And I still have to focus on you when you speak so that I can reply to your questions. Right, so yes, you are saying appreciating your team. I totally agree that, Rick, appreciating your team is very important. I always tell people, my first MDRT is all me. I did my first MDRT all me. But my second, third, the 14th MDRT, 4 COT and 1 TOT, it is not me. It is the team. It is my Mei Wong, who is my office manager for 13 years, and he's the lady that clean up all my mess, service all my clients, make them happy, do all the paperwork. I have Pui Ling who handles all my general insurance. I have Melissa who handles all my power planning work, planning for clients and all that. So it is my team that actually helps me. I have a guy who is sitting right behind me now, who is Vincent, who is my media head, I have a social media team, a media team head, who actually handles all that you can see right now is all done by him. So it is not me. It is a team that handles. I totally agree with you, Rick, to appreciate your team. And this year, I do have a plan to bring my team out this year. It's just that we are still closed. Most resorts are still not open, not like America. I hope by the first quarter I could bring my team out and really take them for a good trip out of this place now, out of the office. Right. So what is my third?
In Malaysia,
Yes.
question, Linton, not to interrupt, but in Malaysia, do you guys have a holiday such as Christmas? Singtanti?
梗係有啦, of course.
Okay, wonderful.
Of course.
I busted out a little Cantonese for all our Cantonese fans. So what I do for our team is we do something called like Secret Santa. So do you
what's
guys
that?
do that where you guys all buy gifts for each other and then you guys pick a number or pick a name and you guys exchange gifts? Or we do something recently called White Elephant. White Elephant it's a little bit more aggressive. So we each buy one gift and we get to steal each other's gift and then we have a lot of fun. Do you guys do that?
What do you mean by white elephant? I know Secret Santa is actually exchanging gift, but what is white elephant?
So Secret Santa is if I draw your name, Lynn, I'm going to try to buy a gift that I think you really like. But White Elephant is pretty much you buy a gift that is a unisex gift that everyone can appreciate, or you buy a prank gift that it will be really funny. So like there was one year someone just bought like a bowel movement medicine. And then we all, let's say there's 20 of us, we all pick a number. Number one gets to pick first their gift. But let's say they pick an AirPod or they pick an iPhone. Number two goes next, like, whoa, that's a great gift. I'm gonna steal that gift. And then number two got their gift. And then number one had to pick a new gift. And it's just a lot of fun. And I honestly, like throughout my year, I think of these things. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm so excited, I'm so passionate, I'm getting giddy just because I think about, oh my God, at the end of the year, what can I do with my team that'll be super fun and celebrate? So I want you guys to think about all the exciting things you can do, not only with your clients, not only with your family, but also with your team, and appreciate.
Right. That's fantastic. So the first guy who get an iPhone, the second guy can steal his giveaway.
Yeah, you guys can. I'm not gonna waste minutes from our show to talk about what White Elephant is, but you guys can go online and Google yourself and find out what it is. And think about fun things to do with your team.
Yeah. So for all the audience out there, we have collected a lot of questions, probably like 7-8 collect questions. We can do more than 10. So just keep it coming and share this content with everybody, share this show with everybody that who is in the insurance business. Let other people know about the show and learn from this, okay? So keep the questions coming. So I'm going to go to my third methods and third thing that I do throughout this quarter to make sure that I qualify top of the table again. So what I do is that I make use and target all the contests and incentive that is given to me by the company. Now, we are very different, and the American company, you guys are mostly independent. But Malaysia, most of us are tied agency. We are tied to a company. And this company always throws us a lot of incentives, trips and all that. So one thing you must do, Malaysians, Thais, Filipinos or Singaporeans, whoever is watching the show, one thing you must do and you must remember to do is to qualify for every single contest. Every single contest that is put in front of you. Even if it's a sling bag, you want to qualify that. Even if it's an airport, you want to qualify that. Even if it's a small little thing, that you don't need, you must qualify it. Why? I tell you why. Because these are all the small milestones that the company set in front of you so that you qualify the big thing. If you miss all these small little things along the way, you will not achieve the big one. So, company has a way to encourage their agents, to encourage their advisors to achieve the bigger target. It is to put small little carrot in front of you so that you win the big pile, the mega pile of carrots, which is MDRT. So what you do is that you must strategize and qualify for every single thing. Grab it. Grab every single thing. Even if it's a buffet lunch, grab it. Win it all the way. Make sure that you win and you win and you win. Just like what Sadiq Dirani is saying, the thing that changed my life were incentive, and then it became a habit. Because why? Winning is a habit. Thank you, Sadiq, for that. So qualify for every single contest and make sure that you go along that line and do your best to qualify for MDRT. Step by step, every single convention, every bonus, qualify it. Make sure you are there. Do not give it up. I'm prepared to qualify for everything that the company puts up for me so that I reach the higher goal, which is top of the table. Are you ready to do this? Are you ready to qualify for every single bit of the contest your company gives you? Now, I encourage you to think about it. Today is Rick, today is our launching, a kickoff day for the quarter, and the company have announced a slew of contests that is coming throughout the quarter. But I'm going to challenge every single one of you. Do your best to qualify everything. Why? At the end of the day, you will see MDRT, you will see court of the table, and you will see top of the table. So that's my last bit of advice for the three things that we do. Rick, you have anything to add on to that?
No, I think we shared a lot of advice and strategies, different advice, different approaches to have our best year ever. So you want to fire away with our hour remaining to go over all the questions that our fans and audience have for us?
Yes, we have about 45 minutes to go, and there's a lot of questions. Let me just see all the questions there is on. So we're going to do the first one, okay? So
sure.
Let me see. Which is the first one? Let me see the first one. Sorry, this is a live show. Any tips? Let me see.
So I see one question as you're organizing all the other questions. I see Ricky asked, when can we get your book unleashed? So great question, Ricky. Thanks for remembering. So I'll give you a little update on that book. So it was probably on my top 5 priority. This is something that I would share. Warren Buffett has a 25-5 rule. So write down your 25 top priorities and then erase the bottom 20. Only focus on the top 5. So writing my book was one of my top goals this year. And although we've already have the titles of every chapter, although it's going to be 15 chapters, it's taken us 6 months to complete chapter 1. We had to rewrite chapter 1 3 times just because there's so much content, there's so much information. So originally we were hoping to finish actually last month in September. We're probably going to finish early next year. My goal is to complete and publish those books ready in time for annual meeting MDRT in 2022. So that's the goal.
Rick, do I get a free autograph book from you?
Not only do you get a free autograph from me, I'm going to wear some lipstick and I'll kiss it and you could have it. But just tell your wife it's from me so you don't get in trouble.
Thank you, Rick. I'm going to take a picture of you kissing that book. I'm going to put it on Facebook, okay? Right?
Sure.
So let's do the first question. Brandon asks us, Ren En, what do you suggest to a new life planner, new life advisors whom the clientele base are smallish to catch up for the last quarter to hit MDRT? Is approaching new cold clients proper or effective? Hope you're able to advise. Rick, you want to take that?
Well, Brandon's question was to you, Ren En. That's probably something for you to answer and not me.
Okay, right. Let me just do that. Now, if I were you, Brandon. So for new guys, right? If you have a small clientele, how small is small? 50 people, 70 people, 80 people. It is not how small it is. It's how effective and how are you going to call every one of them and go and revisit these people. And of course, do not forget approaching new cold clients is also important the last quarter. But I want you to do one thing differently. Instead of approaching new strangers who you do not know, there's no referral point, I want you to visit the existing clientele and ask permission to join their activities, their dinners, their lunches, and their gatherings so that you know his friends. And by doing that, you have a warm referral. I do that every week, 3 times a week, every week. I will do lunches, dinner with clients, but when they are having a gathering with people they know, people they are friends with. So when I join this dinner, I will introduce myself. Hi, I'm Lim, I'm your friend. And they will say, no, I just met you. Who are you? I say, hi, I'm Lim, I'm your friend. And I'm also Adam's friend because I knew Adam. So Adam will come over and introduce me and he'll tell his friend, Jason, this is Mr. Lim here. He is from AIA and he's the best agent you can ever find. You can buy any policies from him. He is the great guy to rely on. So by him doing that introduction, right, your friend, your client doing that introduction, you have a super warm client. Exchange name cards, and remember, by the end of the night, send them a message, tell them it's a pleasure to meet you. We'd like to catch up with you. And then make an appointment to see them for lunch, dinner, or tea. And then from there, you get to know the person better and see whether you have opportunity to actually do something for him. This is my way of doing it. If it's the last quarter, you have to do this month in October. Why? So that you have time to plan and execute whatever they want to do for the next 2 months. But if you're in December, you might not have much time to do that. If you want to do that, no new clients, strangers, you must do right now in October. Get to know him, get close to him, and get it done. So that's my advice to you. Okay, Brandon? Rick, anything to add on to that?
Sure. I'll share with you a content that I just created. So last month, we're proud to share that we secured a national coaching contract for a financial planning company in America. So believe it or not, after this show today, I'm going to speak for this company. And I'm going to do it every month for them. So one of the things I share for my topic is every one of you that are watching today, are you committed to what we call the 5 C's? 5 C's. The 5 C's start with courage. Courage. Now, Brandon, I would ask you, on a scale of 1 through 10, how committed are you to your goals? Let's say you said, I want to hit MDRT, COT, TOT, 1 through 10. You're like, I'm a 10. Now, on a scale of 1 through 10, how courageous are you willing to be to get there? What I mean by that is, I don't know what is mean by smallish clients, new client, or cold call client. I remember when I was a new advisor, my first 6 months, and you guys all heard this, I was put on probation to be terminated and by the company. I wasn't good. And it wasn't because I wasn't good. It was because everything that everyone else was teaching wasn't good. And when I was trying to practice it, it didn't work. Now, what I did was I challenged myself and had courage. I looked at my phone. So back then, let's say my phone book had 1,000 names. And then you know what I would do? I had 26 days to change my future. What do you mean by 26 days, Rick? Because in America, there are 26 letters in the alphabet. So I committed to myself every single day in my phone book, the letter A. Let's say the letter A, I had 45 people that I knew. I called every one of them, day 1. Day 2, B's, I had 15 names. Whew, it was an easier phone call. So I called all 15 of them. Day 3, the letter C, I had 80 people to call. I would call every one of them. By 26 days, I call everyone in my phone book. So when people say they cold call, I don't really understand because I actually cold called my first 6 months. It was because they didn't have the courage to help the people they care most. That's my number 1. Number 2, smallish clients, and I'm assuming the case is small, but you do know that if you have a lot of small clients, then it's a volume game, right? So I don't know the numbers to translate to your country, but let's say MDRT is 100,000. So if your smallish client is on average doing 1,000, then you have to do a volume game, 100 of them in 3 months. Now, if your average client is 5,000, then it's not 100, then it's 20 in 3 months. So you just have to understand, if you are focused on small, then you must focus on volume. If you are focused on bigger, then you can focus less volume, but more technical, practical. And then if you say cold call, why does it have to be cold call? Like realistically speaking, in today's social media world, let's say I want to work with, I'm just using an example, a physician, and I want to be transparent. At Midas Wealth, we are 100% referrals. If you're not referred in, you don't get to meet Midas Wealth. You don't get to work with us. I don't do cold calls. I don't do walk-ins. I don't do door-to-door because you know why? We created a prestige brand, and I would teach that to you. But because mentally, if we can only help a certain amount of people in our lifetime, there's a limited amount of people and there's limited amount of time. Why would you even cold call strangers? But let's just say if I wanted to work with a physician, why would I go in a phone book and cold call? But instead, I would say, well, my good friend Lim's wife is a physician. Lim, I want to share with you our mission and passion to help as many people as possible. You told me your wife's financial future is very important, and we specialize working with physicians. Would it be helpful to teach your wife how to effectively approach and achieve retirement? Would it be helpful for us to teach her tax planning strategies? Would it be helpful to help your wife make sure your children's education is on track? With that being said, we like to meet with your wife and I'm not asking for an endorsement, it's just an introduction so that we can further together help your wife, together help other people that you care about in the community to achieve all their future goals. So there's no such thing as cold call, because at the end of the day, everyone that you may know can be warmed just through other networks that you may have. So I just share with you the one word courage out of my 5 C's. You'll find out what those 5 C's are in the future, but that's hopefully a good answer for you, Brandon.
Thank you, Rick. I would love to have your book. And Sadiq Dirani is asking you, what about me? What color is the lipstick?
For whatever color you want it to be, Sadiq. I'm going to wear chapstick for you because you don't need any lipstick in your book. You're colorful enough.
Sadiq, I'm going to take the book for you and I'm going to put my lipstick on it, okay, as well. All right, so let's go to the second question. We have only answered one question. Let's go to the second question, right? So, I won't ask Rick, maybe you want to take this. With the year coming to an end, yet we have not achieved our goals, do we do a post-mortem and keep going? What should you do, Rick?
Well, with the year end, and although we haven't achieved our goals, it's never over until it's over. You have 90 days. I would share with you, January of this year was my best month of my career. January of this year, I achieved more in 1 month than I probably achieved in the first year of the business, second year of the business, third year in the business, all combined. You would be surprised if you are intentional and you focus. And so what I would share was, number one, make sure you're setting goals. And when I say setting goals, you absolutely know what it is to perfection. Number 2, focus, focus, focus. And number 3, discipline. If you're disciplined, I think if you knew your goal, focused throughout the year, and you're extremely disciplined, you probably would have achieved it. But if you haven't, and we have 3 months to go, it's still not too late. So keep going. Don't give up. Don't give up. You'd be surprised what you can achieve. I will share with you, when I was 25 years old, I wanted to be a managing director. I really wanted to be a managing director and open my own office and help the New York City Chinatown community. I wanted it so badly that my last month, which is December, in order for me to get that promotion, I had to almost double what I did in my first 11 months. I almost had to double, but I was so focused and intentional. And because everything happens for a reason, in 1 month, I almost outproduced my entire 11 months. So it's not too late.
Right, thanks, Rick. So let's go to the next question, right? So I'm going to pick, right, so something from Teddy. Hi, Teddy. Teddy, thanks for watching the show. Teddy is the current country chair for MDRT Indonesia, and it is so good to have you, Teddy. Teddy, remember this guy, Rick Hugh. And when you need a speaker for your MDRT day, contact Rick Hugh, all right? So he's an amazing speaker. You can get him. If you can't get him, you get through me. I'll get him for you, and he'll say yes, all right? So, Teddy, your question is there any sales idea that encourage our customers to take higher sums insured even though they have already taken the sum insured in accordance with their assets? Now, let me just put it this way. What is the right sum insured for anybody? Tell me, what is the right sum insured? My answer for you is the right sum insured. It is the amount of how much love he has for his family. That's it. It is not about assets. It is not about how big your loan is to the banks. It is how much you love your family. So if I were you, I would not even bring the asset up. If he has enough asset, sum insured for the asset, the next question I'm going to ask him, what matters to you the most? Mr. Prospect, Rick, do you love your wife enough? Would you want to make sure that your kids have enough money to live on? How big is your love for your family? You know, Rick, I owe the bank about 3 million ringgit. If I'm to buy life insurance according to my asset, I will buy 3 million, right? You know how much life insurance I have? I have close to 7 million. Why? Because I love my wife and I love all of my 4 kids. Because I know when I'm not around anymore, I can't give them love, but hell, I will not let them suffer and miss the opportunity to go to school, go to college, and have a good life, and be a good person, a good citizen to the community. I'm not going to deny them. So ask your client, how much do you love your family? What kind of lifestyle would you want them to maintain? That is the amount that he needs to do it. And I tell you, when his heart opens up, his wallet will open up as well. And he will do the right amount for his family. Life insurance is a combination of the heart and the mind. If you want to touch a client's wallet, touch the heart. The mind tells the logic, but touching the heart opens up the wallet and opens up his right value for the sum insured. So that's my take. Rick, would you have anything to add to that?
Sure. Daddy, hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I would share with you, and this is just my opinion, I would say that if I was in any Asian country, I think I could 10x whatever I'm doing now. Rick, why would you say that? Because we're all Asian, or many of the people that are viewers are Asian, right? I don't know why, but when I was growing up, I felt that my family raised me different from non-Asian families. Let me explain. My parents, my grandparents, they worked really, really hard, not for them, but it was for my parents. They fled back then China to come to America, save, penny, nickel, dime to buy their first home, and then provide for my parents and sacrifice so my parents' generation can live a rewarding, fruitful life that they didn't have suffering. And then when my parents were growing up, for me, they worked countless hours, 60, 80, maybe over 100 hours a week, 7 days a week in their restaurant, to work hard, not spend on themselves, but to provide for us, my generation. I remember when we didn't have much. I remember when my mom bought me a slice of pizza growing up. She gave me all the slice, and I was probably like a few years old, 5 years old. And when I was done, I only had the crust left. And my mom says, "Son, I love crust. I love the crust of pizza." And I gave it to her because I was full. But as I grew older, I realized my mom does not like pizza crust. She actually liked cheese. But it's because we didn't have enough money, she made sure I had the full slice and she ate my leftovers. And then today, I could buy her any pizza she wants. But the point I share with you is, if Asian culture, Confucianism, has always taught us to not take care of ourselves, but to take care of our future generations, to provide for them, to protect them, how is it possible that leaving a legacy is not one of the top priorities for the Asian community? How is it not possible, right? I truly believe it's because the message that's provided. If you came to me and says, hey, Rick, would you like to buy life insurance? I'd probably say no. If you say, Rick, would you like to maximize your legacy? Would you want to be remembered not by your children or your grandchildren or great grandchildren? Would you like to be remembered by 10 generations down, like the Rockefellers were remembered? My goal in my lifetime is leave 1 billion US dollar for my family when I'm gone. And it's not that $1 billion is a lot of money or a little money. It's just because, in America, with all due respect, what is it? It's a millionaire. And I honestly, truly believe being a millionaire is very easy. Making your first million is probably the hardest, but making your second, making your fifth, making your 10th is very easy. There's so many millionaires in the world, but being a billionaire is a new class. But being a trillionaire is even more special. Before I pass away and leave this world, I'm going to make sure my kids are not millionaires, but will be billionaires, my future generation. And I hope that when I'm gone, maybe I'll make them trillionaires. I don't know. But I hope that when I pass that legacy, that wealth to them, they're going to make my future generations trillionaires. And that's that, right? So I don't know. You can leave your kids 100 heirs. You can leave your family 1,000 heirs. But I honestly think millionaires is not even that special. So I truly believe that legacy is what's tied to it. And personally, here's my number. Like, I have clients that make the same amount of income and they do protect it based on their assets because their goals, their wishes is what they prefer. You know what my number is? And I don't need to tell everyone the specific number, but my number is max. That's max. Okay? I've upgraded my benefits probably 4, 5, 6 times in my lifetime. My number is maxed out. And every couple of years, I check with the underwriter, say, hey, what is my max number? And they'll tell me based on my new income and my tax returns. I was like, max me out, baby. Max me out. Because you know why? Tomorrow's not promised, and I could have passed away yesterday. If I passed away yesterday, my kids are going to get maxed out. And I truly believe while I'm in this world, my wife and my kids will do the right things with the financial freedom I leave them. And they're going to make a difference, a purpose in life. Someone asked me recently, Rick, why do you do what you do? It's not because of monetary. You know how much money Lim and I make doing this every single month, every quarter? Nothing. You know why? Because once you get to a certain point in your life, it's not about money. It's about purpose. It's about purpose and how you want to be remembered.
Purpose is being significant.
Correct.
Great. Max out. Rick, I'm going to go back tomorrow and max out my insurance. 7 million, I have not maxed out my income bracket yet. I need to max it out. Okay? I think I'm going to talk to my underwriter and tell them, could you just max out my life insurance? I think that will be the first time.
Just find out what is your max. Just find out what are your max. Like if you said like I have 5 million and then the underwriter says, well, your max is 50 million. That's a compliment. That just means that you undervalued how valuable you are, your human life value. If you have 5 million, but the underwriter says your max out is 50 million, oh my God. You're discounting yourself to 10% true net worth, true value, human life value, future income potential.
So I'm just going to
max out. I would never discount myself.
So that is fantastic, right? Max, I'm going to ask my next client, I'm going to say, Rick, do you know you can max out your life insurance? Would you like the life insurance company to access how much maximum are you worth? And we can do that for you. The truth of the matter is,
I wouldn't use it that way because
how would you use it?
And not everyone is a max person. I'm different in the sense. I think we are all unique and different. I'm very intense, right? Some people are okay with discounting themselves below what their true value is, right? They're on sale. Some people are true value, and some people max out. Right? I would say there's a very special group of people in this world that truly want to max the human life value. The people that want to max the human life value. I know this morning you're like, Rick, rehearsal. I wake up at 4 or 5 a.m. every single day. I bike 10 miles almost every single day. Not everyone is like me. Not everyone's intense like me. I'm a max out type of guy. When I'm dead, when I'm gone from this world, all I care about is the dash between 1985, the year I was born, and whenever I'm dead. Did I do enough during that dash? That's it. Did I max out my potential? Whether it's my income, my talent, my health, my personal relation with people I love. And if I'm not maxed out every single day, forget it. I'll go back to sleep.
Very intense, I love it, Rick. So can we just take the next one, right? So,
Yeah, let's keep going.
no problem. Kennedy is our friend from Indonesia again. I just want to do a little bit of advertisement for Rick. For anybody who is from the MDRT, MCC all around the world. If you need Rick to speak for your event, please call him. You got his Facebook account, right? Just text him, and he's ready to do it for you. Or if any company would like Rick to do any sessions for them, Rick is ready. All right. Okay, thanks Rick for doing this FOC for everybody. So what is the biggest challenge when you break down the target from annually, monthly, and to monthly to daily? There is not much of a challenge. So Kennedy, I'm just going to tell you how I do this. So take example, like I'm already probably 4 MDRT. I qualified for MDRT already from now until now. Right? So I have another 2 MDRT to do to max out to TOT. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use that number. So give it an example. If it's R1,000,000, I'm going to use that number, break it down to 3 months. So every month I need to do 333,000 of production for 1 million, right? So once I do that, I will times 3. Why? Because if my closing ratio is 30% or 40%, I have to do three times the presentations to make 100,000, correct? So if it's 333,000 production, I need to do 3 times, means I need to do 1 million. 1 million worth of presentations every month for the next 3 months. Once I have that number, I break it out in 30 days, means I have to do 30,000 of presentations every day to a client or to 2 clients or to 3 clients. Every day I have to do 30,000. That's it. So that is my daily activity. I don't go home before I finish my 30,000 presentations to a new client. So that's how you calculate, break it down from monthly to daily. All right. So I hope I answered your question. Okay. So would you like to take the next question, Hazel? Rick. Hazel asked to both of you, how can we create urgency in our clients if the case has been open and followed up for months and the clients still haven't made a decision to it yet? Rick, you want to take that?
Sure. So Hazel, my process is not subjective, is all objective focused. It's other focused. When I have a meeting with a client, all I do is listen, ask very important questions that helps me understand who they are, what they're thinking, and what's most important in their life. When I gather that information, my team will either confirm with them that everything they're doing is on track and achieve all their goals. And as a matter of fact, they don't even need us. So I'll reconfirm their decisions they've already made, provide affirmation so that they have confidence and clarity in life. Or the second is, if there's any opportunities, cracks that needs to be filled, I's that needs to be dotted, T's that needs to be crossed, my team and I will create a financial plan to help them understand where they are using math, science, and data, and where they want to be. I'm going to come up with recommendations, problem solve for them to have clarity, have confidence that they will achieve their goals. Now, when I build my recommendation using math, science, data, and when I present it to our clients, I do everything I can educational. I honestly have no opinion. So like people ask me all the time, when you go into a meeting, what recommendations do you provide? I said, that's your problem. You're already thinking, having a preconceived notion on what you would like to recommend people. I don't know what I'm going to recommend someone. I had a meeting a few weeks ago. Someone met me and said, hey, Rick, this is my situation. You know what I said to them? You can't work with us. You got to pay down your debt. You got to improve your credit score. Come back to us maybe in 2-3 years if you're able to do this. And by the way, here's a budget sheet. Work on it and stick to it because you're spending way too much money. How are you spending your money? Oh my God, you're spending in a very irresponsible way. Until you are able to achieve, until you're able to be responsible today, you'll never achieve your goals tomorrow. That's why I said, now I have another client that says, my goal is to retire. What they were doing was good, but what we provided was great. We actually showed them through our financial plan how to get them to their goals faster, quicker, while taking less risk by being more efficient, mathematical. So we showed that. So when I spent so much time and effort helping them, and let's say we opened a case, and generally at the end of our meeting, I say, Hazel, based on what you've shared with me was important, here's our financial plan and here's our recommendation. You say, Rick, my spouse and I need to think about it. Wonderful. On average, our clients take about a week to think about, and not like a month or 2 months or 3 months, because honestly, over a long period of time, what's important, what's urgent is now important. What's important is now longer, now not important, because as time passes, we will forget the urgency that you mentioned based on the conversation we had today. So a week later, we follow up. If they're able to make a decision, whether it's our recommendation 1, 2, 3, or whatever they decide, we're happy to help them, assist them. Unbiased recommendation, objective to them. If they're not able to make a recommendation by the second time we follow up, by the third time we follow up, honestly, that's our third time and our final time. I don't follow up anymore. Rick, why don't you follow up anymore? Because honestly, there's 9 million people in the tri-state area, and I can only help 9,000 in my lifetime. That's 1%. Now, honestly, I'm helping every client opportunity around the country. There's 300 million people in the United States. That means I can literally barely help like a fraction of 1%. Why do I care? If my prospect, if my client that we meet don't care, I don't care. I don't care. Forgive me. I only care if they care. So I would give them a chance to take action. And if they don't take action to their goals and commitment, they're not committed. If they're not committed, I don't want them as a client. Because imagine the next 10, 20, 30 years when I got to constantly remind you, Hazel, to save money for your children's education. When I have to remind you to put away money for your retirement before spending it on vacation, shopping, and like activities that are not urgent and important. I don't want to work with you, right? I already have 3 kids. I don't want to have 30 kids that have to babysit. So my goal when working with anyone, it's a mutual fit relationship. And clients can tell. Clients like, I really appreciate you, Rick, because your goal, my goals to me, I can sense is as important as my goals to you, Rick. And it is. Because if we decide to work together, we're mutually committed 100%. If they're 100%, I'm 100. If they're 90, I'm 90, right? So that's that. So if your clients are not committed or your prospects not committed, Hazel, do not spend too much time on thinking of how to get them committed. Move on. Next.
Right. Thanks, Rick. It is well said. Right. So Hazel say thanks, Rick. Right? Teddy say thanks. All right. There's a lot of thank you. Give us some love. Show us some hearts and share it out with everybody. All your friends. Okay. So let's take the next question, guys. So we will take this from Janet. All right. It is. Sorry, this is for me. Hi, Ren En. After you open a case to prospect, usually how many days later do you follow up with them? And what would you say when calling up to follow up with to ease the process to close the case? So, Janet, I just want to tell you, after I open up the case, how many days later you follow up? No, you follow up on the spot. When you open a case, you will set the next appointment right away. So, take example. If Rick is my client, I'll say, Rick, I could actually do this proposal for you, and we can actually talk about it later when I get it prepared done. So, Rick, would you be free tomorrow or the day after? Let us talk about it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon or 5 o'clock. Which time is better for you? I will set the appointment right there and then. You have to hit the iron when it's hot, right? So, I will do the presentations. Once the presentation is done, I will try to close the client 3 times or 4 times. The client will say, Rick will say, it's okay, I need to talk to my wife, I need to do that, I need to do that. You handle those concerns and come back and say, Rick, let us do this. If you've got 14 days to think about it, you can sign up and pay it up. If you don't think it's suitable, we can cancel and give you back all your money. But let's just get it done today. Why? Just in case anything will happen. Within these 14 days, you are paid X amount of money, 3 million, 5 million, get it done. So I will do that and close them, all right? So the chances are 99% of them will just keep the policy. Very few people will cancel the policy after that. Right? So how long do you follow up with this case? So if let's say you can't close, the guy goes back and think about it, call back in 2 days' time. On that meeting, you ask them, could I call you back after the weekend? Could I call you back in Wednesday? Could I call you back in Thursday to follow up? If he says yes, call back on Thursday. Make sure you follow up. If he hasn't made up his mind, ask him again, can I call you back in 3 days' time? Call back and make sure that you follow up with them. I don't take a no for a no. I don't take a cold shoulder or cold response from a client that don't pick up your call. I will stop following up with the client if he says, Ren En, I'm not interested in this anymore. Let's just forget it. Okay, then it's fine. Let's just forget it. So if he haven't tell you no is no, then just follow up. How much does it cost you to follow up? Nothing. It's a text message, and text message you don't pay anything to the client. So what is so difficult to follow up? Just SMS. Are you ready? Let's do this. Are you ready? It's okay. So that's how I do it. Rick, anything you want to add on to this?
Janet, we don't really have those experiences, mainly because our first initial meeting, the Fact Finder, is very powerful, and we're able to really communicate in a sense where everyone knows what the next agenda is. And when we show the recommendation, it's 100% focused on the client's goals, needs, objectives, and we make them better. We help them get better, and we teach them things that no one has ever taught them to get there. By that point, they either make a decision they want to work with us or not work with us. And we normally say some people need like an extra week to follow up, 2 weeks, sure. But after a certain period of time, as you could tell from my last answer, we don't really follow up anymore. Because I think in society, which is kind of which is very common, but I find it weird and not nice. How often do you not tell the truth to someone? Very common, right? So I've changed, whether it's something that happened to me in my past life or whatnot, and I've shared this with people. Like most people, if they don't want to work with us, they actually said, you know what, Janet, I'll think about it. You know what, Janet, let me ask my wife. Let me ask my kids. Let me ask my dog. Let me ask the garden outside. They will say that. But if you are able to understand your process, and if you're able to communicate with someone and truly understand them, you could tell if they're sincere or if they're not sincere, and we just move on. I oftentimes don't spend too much time on people to follow up because, every day I have so many people I need to help. I have so many people. You'll be surprised how often. Because we've helped hundreds of people buy their first home, retire, save on taxes, plan for their children's education, right? So we have clients after they expect us to follow up, and then you know what's funny? We don't follow up after a certain period of time, and they're like, wait, how come there's no more follow up? Because honestly, they're not responsible, and they're actually kind of disrespectful in communication. And all we ask is yes, no, or let's follow up in the future. And when we do follow up, they have to. Yeah, they by that point they'll let us know yes or no, and then we move on. But I don't really follow up. I don't really chase, and that's just my opinion. And I believe that if you stop chasing something that's not worth chasing, you're gonna. It's not about resources, it's about resourceful, and then you're gonna only get better.
Thank you, Rick. Wonderful. Yep. 2 school of thoughts. One is Asian, one is Western. I must learn that I must learn your way, Rick. I must learn your way to be better.
And I'll be very transparent. My first year in the business, I did everything you guys all said Eastern way. And you know why? Because I was born and raised by parents that came from China. They taught me everything that most people do in Asia, and it doesn't work. It just didn't work. I think I shared this with you. Like why do you ask for business? I don't ask. It's either you help them and there's value or there's no value. So if your process has value, they're going to work with you. If your process has no value, they're not going to work with you. Asking for them to work with you makes zero sense to me. It makes zero sense. It's like if I go into a place and I need something and I find value in that service, that product, I'm going to work with them. But if I don't need it, I don't value it, and I don't understand it, I won't work with them.
Right. So let's do the next question. Okay, so thanks, Rick. All right. All right. So, sorry. Oh. Okay. High net worth clients. This one. Rick, you want to take this? Any insight on how you stay tactful to high net worth clients? Rick, you want to take that?
Great. So, Janet, I would say write down on a piece of paper the 10 things the high net worth clients want, need, and would value. your help with. Write it down. Okay. And then be them. Whether you are them or not, visualize and try to understand them. Read what they read. Understand where their tax bracket is. Understand what their passions are, what their hobbies are, and become them. When you understand high net worth clients, what they need, what their goals are, what their concerns are, high net worth clients have a lot of goals still and have a lot of concerns and have a lot of fears. And as long as you understand them, then you're going to have the solutions to help them. Right? High net worth clients, in my humble opinion, they don't care as much of wealth accumulation because they've accumulated wealth. That's why they're high net worth. Instead, they care more about protecting what they've accumulated. So that's one. Taxation. They're so busy doing the things that they do every single day, they don't have time. So how can you free up their time and make sure you provide added value to make their life easier? Because they're already high net worth. They already have all the money that they possibly think they can have, but it's about you being more valuable to them and making your life easier. So that's what I would say. Lynn, what about you?
I think, yeah, as high net worth individuals, right? Sometimes a lot of agents try to sell them saving plans. In Malaysia, we have a lot of agents love to sell 5-year saving plans. And I don't understand this to high net worth clients. How much percentage of returns our saving plan is giving? 3%, 2.5%. And a lot of agents actually do all this hanky-panky to actually mislead the clients and sell them a high value saving plans with 3.5% and tell them it's like 8%. And that is very wrong. If you are doing that, stop doing it, okay? Because I've seen a lot of clients being fooled to do that, especially from certain companies. Now, let's look at it this way. The high net worth clients, as you say, as Rick says, they don't need to make more money. They have already a lot of money. What you need to do is basically protect the family, protect their assets, and give them a way to save some money from taxation. Now, in Malaysia, we don't have estate duty yet, Rick. I think in America, you have estate duty. So insurance become a very good tool to protect the asset. But in Malaysia, we don't have estate duty. So one of the things why that the high net worth doesn't buy a lot of life insurance, because they don't need to protect the asset. They could just pass on to their family tax-free. There's no tax. There's no estate duty. So for me, to actually tackle the high net worth clients, right, you just have to do what I call the pain point. A lot of businessmen love their business more than their wives. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rick, but that is true for Asians, right? The Eastern culture. They love their business more than their wives. They might not buy insurance for the wives, but they will buy insurance to protect the business. So I normally figure out which one matters to them the most, which touches their heart, and attack that. And tell you the truth, I've sold millions and millions of life insurance by attacking the business, by telling them, you've worked so hard for the business. What is that, why can't the business pay a little bit of premium from the business proceed to protect you, the owner? If anything happens, this money comes back to the business and pays and save the business for a family. Well, that works. A lot of them say, yes, it works. So they buy. So in a way, either we do it this way or next way, it still protects their family, right? So Ricks, that's how the Asian works. Malaysia or Thailand or Singapore, we don't have estate duty. That is why we have a bit of a pain point with the very, very high net worth people, right? Can we move to the next question, Rick?
I'll just pinpoint one thing.
Yeah.
Yep, let's move to the next question as you prepare it. But you also have to think about it. Why are you talking about protection for high net worth when they don't need to protect if there's no estate tax? But if I were to ask a high net worth person, why are you high net worth? Oh, because you were low net worth. Why are you high net worth and not ultra high net worth? Right? I don't know if you know this, but human beings, human nature, whether it's true or not true, once they get to a certain point, unfortunately, they want to go higher, 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 higher. Insurance can be a protection tool, but insurance can also be a multiplier tool, right? So like, hey, if I'm going to pass away and I can leave my family, loved ones with 300 million, would it be upsetting if I left them 500? It's just foolish to me. It's like not understanding math, right? So high net worth is good, but you just got to understand the high net worth don't understand how ultra high net worth want thing, and ultra high net worth don't understand the highest in the ultra high net worth is thinking. So I would just challenge you to don't think about just protection, but also think about multiplying.
Yes. Think about multiply. Now, Ricky says inherent tax might be coming anytime soon. Let's just put it this way. I think it will come, not with the present government because the present government, if you understand Malaysian context, Rick, our present government are the richest people in Malaysia. They would not want their children be taxed. They are the richest people. So it will come, hopefully in 5-10 years time, but maybe I'm wrong. So let's just do this. Janet say thanks for the essence. It is good. Thanks, Rick. So let's do the last two questions. We are about time's up. Sure. 2 minutes. We are about time's up. Okay. So let's do. Now, Ricky, you have a question. I'm going to quickly answer this. From Malaysian context, can we use insurance to help clients purchase their first home, as Rick suggested? I have no clue. I can't answer you that. How do you do it in America, Rick?
Great question. And I don't want to overwhelm people because I think people that are watching can tell I'm very technical and I'm really obsessed with math. So I'll give you a great example. So I recently bought my home, right? And what I did was in my policies has cash value, has assets. So what I did was, I don't know if you understand this, if you were to go buy a home, the seller, do you think they prefer to sell it to someone that's borrowing money from the bank? Or do they prefer a cash buyer? They probably prefer a cash buyer because the closing is faster. So I know, at least from my experience, that if you're able to close with cash, you can shorten the closing period, but you can also negotiate with the seller. Instead of asking for $1 million, maybe requesting 5% or 10% discount, because we're going to save them the convenience of not closing in 3 months, but closing in 30 days or 2 weeks. Now, if you guys have cash on hand, that's great. If you don't have cash on hand, the cash value or the accumulated value in some of these products you can access. At least in America, I can borrow against 95% of it. So what I do recently, I borrowed against it, did a cash deal, and then after doing the cash deal, I can refinance from the bank, get the money, and pay it back. But there's so much flexibility. And I don't know the products in Asia versus the products in US, so I don't want to assume anything. But I will share with you, if certain products have assets and have liquidity, you can use it for flexibility and liquidity purposes. Right? I will share with you, I can borrow. I recently used a client not too long ago, the cash value or accumulated value in their insurance policies to pay for their wedding. And you know what the loan rate was? Let's just say approximately 4%. So they borrow $50,000 out at 4%. That's $2,000 a year. Now, initially, they were thinking about selling some of their investments. But I was like, well, if you sell your investments, you're going to pay taxation. Taxation could be long-term capital gains, 15 or 20%, or income tax, and it's much higher than that. Or why don't you just borrow out the $50,000 at 4%? And then after your wedding, and I obviously have been married, they're married after me. I said, after your wedding, do you think you're going to get cash gift? And if you do get that cash gift, do you think you're going to spend it? Or do you think you're going to probably put it back into your account? They said, well, I will put back in my account. So what is interesting is they borrowed out the $50,000, paid for all their bills, and then a week later, they received over $50,000 in cash and gifts, and they put it back into their policy. Now, if it's $2,000 a year, but they paid it back in 1 month, 2,000 divided by 12 months is $160 some dollars. It cost them $160 some dollars to have access to $50,000 pay back. That's the flexibility and strategy with these products. And then, like, I don't want to go into details, but there's a book called Becoming Your Own Banker. Becoming Your Own Banker. I don't know if it's available for people or products in Asia, but in the United States, they utilize some of these products, insurance products, to become their own bank. I need it, I pull it out. I don't need it, I pay it back. Borrowing against it. That's the strategy.
All right. So, Rick, let's take just the last few questions. All right.
Sure.
Okay, so we have done. Okay, last question. Okay, so for high net worth clients from KY, leaving wealth charity organization will be a good selling point. Yes or no? That depends. KY, if the client has a big heart and he does feel a lot for the charitable organization, what I do is I tell the clients, let's say Rick is that nice guy. I say, Rick, you do so much for, say, the Salvation Army, or you do so much for, say, 慈济, this kind of organization. You would like, and I believe you would like to leave, say, 3 million or 5 million or 10 million for this organization. You can actually use your own asset to put in 10 million to donate to the organization, or you can use my discounted dollar by doing 2% every year, and I could pay the 10 million on your behalf when you pass on. Which one would you choose, 2% or 100%? What will the client say? Let's do 2%. Keep the 10 million with my family. I will still give 10 million after I die for this organization. So Rick, you have an answer?
That's it. That is exactly my answer. KY, you could tell although we do the same thing, or although we represent the same company, although we may have the same access to the same product, there's a difference between rookie knowledge, pro knowledge, and master. So, and honestly, it's not even fair that Lim said this, and KY, you didn't think of this, but there's a way for you to know exactly what Lim knows by reading, getting better, leveling up. But that's exactly the answer. Why would you do dollar for dollar when you could put pennies for the dollar? Makes no sense.
Ben Feldman. We all stole the idea from Ben, right? That's how MDRT works.
Everyone took an idea for someone else and made it better, worse, or the same.
Yes. So thank you so much for coming to the show. Don't go yet. I have a small announcement to make. Now, Rick, if you don't mind, let me just show this. I am doing a DRSC course, Boost Your Sales 200% by understanding your client's personality, on the 16th of October at 2 p.m. It is a Zoom webinar. If you're interested, you can actually register through this website. I'm just going to put it onto the chat right now. Okay, you could just register for this event and come on and learn. So what we're going to promise you is that this is me only. Rick will not be on the show. So we will promise you will learn the personality of your clients, understand how to tackle them, and then boost your sales by 200%. So understand your clients, understand your own personality, work with those personality to increase the chance of you closing that sales. So if you're interested, register. The link is just right down there. Click on it and you can actually register this. All right? So Rick, any last word for our people before we go?
I do have one last word. So this is the last show before the end of the year, correct?
Yes.
So the next show is scheduled for January 2022, correct?
January 2022. Correct, Rick.
So I need everyone that's watching today to combine all your powers to help my friend Lim. And I'll tell you why. Because this show is called Top of the Table Talk Show. Lim, you and I were joking about it briefly that you need accountability. Because if we don't hit top of the table this year, then January 2022, we got to change the talk show to the MDRT talk show. And everyone that's a COT or TOT, they were like, no, I don't want to go to the MDRT talk show. I want to go to top of the table talk show. So I love this because I promise you this will be helpful for all of us, right? I've already achieved top of the table. Lim achieved COT already. Lim has 3 months to get TOT. If we don't hit TOT in the next 3 months, Lim, honestly, this will be the last talk show we'll ever do until we both hit TOT again. So everyone that's watching, especially my friends in Malaysia, say, hey, Lim, every other day, every other week, not because you don't care, it's actually because you care so much. Say, hey, Lim, how far are you? Did you get there? Did you get there? I promise you, Lim, with the power of the people on our show, with Malaysia backing you and supporting, I'm going to message you. Hey, Lim, every other week, every once in a while, Lim, did you get there? Did you get there? No, we got canceled. So we got to all get there.
Okay. All right.
Accountability and and excitement, goal setting is what drives us. Because every single day it will drive us to get there. Or we could cancel it, and I'll see all of you guys in 2025.
All right, so Merry Christmas in advance and Happy New Year. Ricky, we're going to definitely miss you. We'll try to do the show again on January. And let's get a 3 months, a good 3 months, and let's close the year strong, okay? So I will still encourage you, come to my event, a webinar, and register through the link and learn how to be better, right? Learn other person's personality and learn about your client's personality and how you handle them to increase your chance of closing that sales. All right. So I'm going to leave. We're going to leave with a short video about the webinar that we're going to host on the 16th. It's going to be in English, and hopefully everybody will have a good closing this year. All right. So Rick, thank you for coming up. I'll see you again. Hopefully in March. When I attend the John Maxwell team coaching session, I'll make sure when I'm in Florida, I'll come to New York to see you. All right?
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you so much. I'll see all of you. Give us some love, and I'll leave you with this video so that you can join the webinar. All right? See you guys. Bye. If you're a customer-facing person or a salesperson, a front desk, an insurance advisor, or customer service, are you having a problem understanding your clients? You must have been through these situations, right? Like, say, customer just want to have more data and information and not buying. Sometimes we have customers who become angry because I was late for 10 minutes. Clients don't tell me what he wants and he doesn't make the order. I just don't know what is wrong with him. Are you frustrated? Do you have such problem? All these are just reaction to your way of handling them. If you understand your client, they will want to deal with you. Have you heard about DISC? DISC is a scientific way to divide people into 4 major personality groups, which are the dominants, the fast and the furious, the influencer, the shining star on stage, the steadiness people who are loving and caring like your mom, the C, the conscientiousness people, the intelligent and the analytical one. I'm Ren En, a MDRT Live member with top of the table qualification. I'm the past country chair of MDRT Malaysia and also the current MDRT Southeast Asia Zone Chair. I coaches insurance advisors and financial planners, helping them to improve their sales performance. I will share with you these golden methods in this course using the basic DISC idea. I will teach you how to understand your personality and strength as a salesperson, as a frontliner. I will also share with you the methods in analyzing and understanding your client's personality. And lastly, but most importantly, the techniques to sell to your clients of different personality and grow your sales. Register now and join our online course on the date above.